Rembrandt van Rijn's self-portrait from 1645 is important to our culture because it depicts a master's level of introspection and provides an artistic take on the concealed emotional parts of a person. Rembrandt was born on July 5, 1606, in Leiden, Germany. In 1622, he became an apprentice to a painter in Amsterdam, and then set up his own business in 1626. He started gaining attention internationally when he was in his mid-20s. How did Rembrandt achieve his fame? It was due in part to his more than 40 self-portraits he painted in a 40-year time period, which gave him an aura of authority even before he was truly famous.
People began speaking out against the church. Philip II was tied to the church, so he instituted this period of repression in the Netherlands, in which people were persecuted and killed for speaking out against the church. The people of Northern Europe began rebelling, and it was called, I think it's called the 80 Years' War. It wasn't a continual war, but it was a series of uprisings. Ultimately, the people in the northern part, it was an area called Flanders. The people in northern Flanders, modern day Netherlands, won their independence. The Belgians did not. So this became the Dutch Republic. And one of the first things they did was expel the Catholic Church. The problem was the Catholic Church had been the main patron of the arts. So you suddenly have artists with no patronage, and they start diversifying, trying to find different sources of patronage for their paintings. The other thing was, you had all of that money that had been pouring out, because Flanders was the wealthiest area in Europe. All of that money that had been flowing out to Spain was now kept in this new Dutch Republic. So you had a wealthy middle class, and they wanted art to hang on their walls, but they did not want religious art. So you start seeing artists diversifying. And you had people like Rembrandt who became portrait painters. Now, he also did a lot of religious work, but he typically did portraiture as a way of making a living, and he became known for his expertise in portraiture. But you've got to practice portraiture. So he painted himself, working through all of these issues of light and how does light have different psychological effects. He was a painter of the psyche, and trying to reveal what the person was like. And he painted himself over and over throughout his life as a way of exploring.
Some scholars point out that there were 3 phases to his self-portraits. The first phase was when he was a young and spirited artist. The second phase was during the 1630s and 1640s, when Rembrandt was a middle-aged man and tended to wear more tailored and expensive-looking clothing in his self-portraits. In 1652, the final phase began, where Rembrandt painted himself exactly as he was, with a refreshing sense of honesty. His self-portraits as a whole show how time passed, as Rembrandt portrayed his age very well with detail. In many of his self-portraits, he played roles by dressing up or posing. The self-portrait I chose, done in 1645, was displayed in a museum in Karlsruhe, Germany, before it was moved by Nazis. It was later found in the Heilbronn salt mines by Harry Ettlinger after World War II. It was then returned to Staatliche Kunstsaal Karlsruhe, the state art gallery in Karlsruhe. This painting reiterated Rembrandt's view of himself as being an art prodigy with his handsome clothing and authoritative expression, as seen in his self-portraits from the 1630s. Soon afterwards, Rembrandt lost interest in portraying this aspect of himself and saw himself instead as a creator rather than as an important artist. Rembrandt painted his self-portrait over another piece. You can see the previous painting to the left of Rembrandt's head, where the top layer has peeled away and a second ear is visible. In the painting, Rembrandt gave himself very full, red lips, which he did not usually pay attention to in his other self-portraits. He also detailed his sagging cheeks, which portray his age honestly. This self-portrait provides a look into Rembrandt's psyche. His deep frown and the tenseness near his left eye suggest that he is concentrating and is a serious artist. His clothing isn't easy to make out compared to his intricate facial features, which leads some to believe that the painting is not completely finished. Because Rembrandt's wife Saskia died near the time of this painting in 1642, some scholars say he could have been painting in order to fight off his grief. It was not until 1652 that he painted another self-portrait.
But I think all of his self-portraits are instructive in that they reflect different phases of his development. The continual, to be redundant, the continual search for ways of expressing the feelings, the emotions through paint. Not just the exterior appearance, but the interior appearance as well. And as I said, that's what he was noted for, the revealing the inner workings of the person.
Yeah.
And that art makes you think about the world in a different way. It makes you look at things in a different way. It makes you question your preconceived notions about things. That provokes you. So, art is what really engages us. And I know it sounds cliche, but I really do believe it's what makes us alive, keeps us alive, just keeps us looking at the world in a different way. So, really to go to extremes, it would just be a black and white and gray world if we didn't have this artistic sense. We've all got it, whether we're aware of it or not.